Tuesday, April 16th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, I've got some incredible footage sent in from Florida and a video from right out here in Phoenix of some amazing lights in the sky. And they both contain something unique that looks like what I'm describing as static in the sky. Just hundreds and hundreds of small lights that are following larger lights. It's pretty incredible footage. But first, we're here at the website, MrMBB333.com. Don't forget to check it out. It's linked below in the description box. Everything you see here at the top of the website is real-time data. It's updated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The newsroom is up here in the daily report. New news stories updated every day, at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day. We update the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery every day. Here's a couple of examples of photographs I put in recently. In fact, today, Hayley from Carlsbad, California, the recent sunspot that was facing the Earth, no longer facing the Earth, but it's still visible if you've got the right equipment to observe the sun safely. Here's a sunset from Sri Lanka sent in by Bernice. Beautiful photos, got a lot of really gorgeous photographs right here in the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery that was assembled by me, but built by you guys and your incredible observations. So keep them coming. I greatly appreciate it. Now we're going to the videos that were sent in. First, we're going to start down here in Stuart, Florida, where Paul B. observed some, what I'm calling static in the sky. But again, I'm leaving this open to interpretation. You guys decide for yourself what you see here. But it looks like two, well, you're going to see, there's no look-likes, it is. There's two larger lights. They're out over the ocean, moving to the northeast, coming from the southwest. And that's according to Paul, the witness who videotapes this next video you're about to see. And again, they were out over the ocean, moving to the northeast. And you'll see two lights that appear to be surrounded by static. And I didn't see it originally until I adjusted the video, and then all of a sudden I see all of this static everywhere. So that's just kind of how I describe it. Again, you guys interpret this however you see it. But here's the two lights that Paul noticed, and he described them as orange, and these were moving faster than the other lights that you see here. And you're going to start to see, once I make an adjustment, all kinds of other small lights that he also observed, but there were just, I'm talking hundreds of these lights that seem to be surrounding these two lights here. You can see them now as I zoom in. See all the little lights twinkling in the background around these bigger lights? And the bigger lights are moving in perfect unison with one another, almost like they're attached to something larger. They're not just drifting randomly. Now it changes color a little bit because I'm facing the moon when I adjusted this, so there's more light in the video at that moment. But you can still see the sparkling lights in the background. It almost looks like twinkling dust or something. But it reminds me of static. And it seems to be following these two lights right here that are moving much quicker than any of the other lights that you can't really see now. This is the original that I didn't really edit too much, and when I edited it, you could see the other lights. And in the video, he asked me to turn down the sound, which I respected that, but they were talking about, he and another witness, the other multiple lights in the video. And I really couldn't see them at first until I made some minor adjustments, and then there they were. And I'll zoom in even closer in this video, and you'll see just an abundance of these, here you go, right here, of these lights just twinkling everywhere. Look at that. They're everywhere. And that's in the trail of those two lights that you just saw right there, moving away at a much faster speed to the northeast. And you can see a trail of what I'm calling static behind those two lights. So an incredible video captured out over the Atlantic Ocean near Stuart, Florida. Look at that. Lights just sparkling everywhere. The sky was just loaded with these lights. And that's what they were saying in the video. Red, blue, white, just amazing. So again, like I always do, you interpret this how you see it or what you may think it is. To me, it looks like some sort of static that's a side effect from something else that was moving through the atmosphere. I don't know how else to describe that. They're just rapid pulses of small light that appeared when the two larger lights went through, and those two larger lights were moving in perfect unison. And this adjustment was part of the main video, and this is more in the direction of the moon. So that's why you see more of a blue color there. But you can still see the sparkling lights even in this adjustment here. So amazing observation by Paul. He had a witness with him that also noticed these lights too. So there was 2 witnesses this night from Stuart, Florida, looking to the east out over the Atlantic Ocean. And there's another clip of this static in the sky. There's the 2 lights moving away. This is just slightly edited differently than the first one you saw. So amazing video from Stuart, Florida, sent in by Paul B. I worked these videos, or this video here, for the better part of 2 or 3 hours trying to pull forward. These are still shots here, and I zoom in close to those larger lights. You kind of get a closer look at whatever they are. Again, I'll leave that up to you to decide, but that's a close look at the first one. This is the one on the right. The first one was the one on the left. And they seem to be moving in perfect unison with one another, almost like they were attached to something larger. They weren't drifting off, you know, one moving faster than the other. They seem to be moving at the same exact speed. There's something red in between the 2 larger lights, just one of those hundreds of little static things that we saw. And yet here's another red one down below that I zoom in on. It's kind of a light red. And the 2 lights, at least to me, the way I see it, they were part of something bigger that we just can't see in the video. Now we're out here in Phoenix, Arizona, video taken by Jim. Strange lights, static again in the sky. And what he noticed was this light here, and you can see in the background, see the static? You'll see this light changing colors for the better part of, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. I zoom in, I take some still images. It's difficult to tell what we're looking at here. It's just some sort of a strange light. And then at some point there's 2 at a time, and then you'll see 3, and then back to 1. There's the one main one, and what's moving around is the camera, not so much the object. See the pulsating lights in the background? It reminds me of what we just saw in Stuart, Florida, of the static. And there's also static or some sort of lights pulsating around these 2 main lights, and you'll see 2 here in just a minute. That's the one main one, and there's a secondary one to the right and just behind this one that appears just briefly. But I just paused it here so you could take a closer look, and here I zoom in even tighter. It almost looks like some sort of a weird strobe, but it's up in the sky, in the dark sky, all by itself. Doesn't seem to be moving right or left or up or down. It's kind of stationary. The movement you see is from the camera. So I don't know. Never seen anything quite like it. See the static in the background? The smaller pulsating lights. There's a blue one, white one. Every once in a while you'll see a red one. Very similar to what we just saw in Florida, only not quite as many. And these 2 main lights, well, there's one main light, but there is a second one there that's not quite as active as this one you see here. They're not moving like the ones we saw in Florida. There's a pretty good look at it there. Whatever it is, or whatever they are. Great observation by Jim right out here in Phoenix, Arizona. Look at all the little static lights all around this thing. They're everywhere. And it may not be static. It could be something else. That's just kind of the way I interpret this. Welcome to interpret this any way you like. There's the second light I was talking about right there. See it? See, there's 2. That second one is just not quite as active as the first one. So have no clue what we've got going on here, guys. Pretty cool, though, whatever it is. It's pretty good ways away. I mean, it was a few miles away, it looked like. There it looks like 2 again. I don't think a single drone would turn into 2, but then again, I don't know. I suppose anything is possible. But a great observation by Jim from right out here in Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. Now you can see 2 pretty steady. Now we're back to 1. This is a still image, and I zoom in as close as I can get without over pixelating. It's actually pretty good quality, but almost looks out of focus. I don't know if it is or it isn't. But like I said earlier, it was a pretty good ways away, and he was doing his best to keep the camera still, but very unique lights from right out here in Phoenix, Arizona, multicolored with what appear to be static pulses all around the 2 lights. This next video is from Arizona as well, quartzite. This was sent in by Glenn, and it's what appears to be some sort of a triangle he noticed in the night sky. The first video you see here is the original video he sent me, and then I adjust the lighting just a little bit, not the original video itself, nothing but the lighting and contrast, to try to get a little better look at this thing. And what's unusual about this is you'll see, like you see now, a big giant V in the sky, and that's what got his attention. He actually called it a triangle. You'll see a twinkling light here and then one over here to the right. Don't know what they are, but the clouds here almost seem to be touching the ground. It's really kind of interesting for, I don't know, out here in Arizona or anywhere for that matter. It looks like fog, but you'll see these clouds, see how they reach down to the ground? That's the original video, and that's what caught his attention. I don't know if those are clouds that are just shaped like a big V or a big triangle, or if there was actually something there occupying space in those clouds that was in fact a triangle. We've been seeing them all over the earth, so wouldn't surprise me. Here is a adjusted version of the original video, and I zoom in, adjust the contrast and color a little bit, just trying to pull it forward, looking for any other details that we may not have seen in the original. And it looks about the same, but again, it's the clouds. That's a street light. The clouds are nearly touching the ground. Look at that. Pretty amazing. That's the top of a house or something there. So those clouds are very, very low. So great observation by Glenn from Quartzsite, Arizona. Could be just a very unique coincidental cloud formation that just happened to look like a triangle, but to notice something like that in the night sky, that's kind of rare. You don't normally look up and see triangles in the night sky like that in cloud formations, but you never know. Good observation, Glenn. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Paul. Good observation, guys. Great videos. This is where Stuart, Florida is, and that's where those static lights and the two lights that I showed you in the first video, that's the direction they were headed, right there, out over the Atlantic Ocean. Don't forget to check out the website, MrMBB333.com. It's linked below every video in the description box. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.